some of you, I was going to say a lot of you, but no, some of you have been reaching out to me and asking for private sessions. I tell you, the people who reach out to me, I tell you, yeah, we can start working together, and we can also you can also take my course, my pronunciation course. And you are like, yeah, well, I'm not really sure about that because my main goal is not really precision. I don't really want to, I'm not really interested in accuracy. I don't want to pronounce the sounds perfectly, quote unquote, perfectly. I just want to be fluent. This is the main reason why you ask me to be fluent without using the sounds. You're like, no. I don't want to spend time working on the sounds. Me urge, right? That's what you say. I really need it for my job. And I'm like, yeah, you're basically asking for a miracle because it's like saying that you want to fly an airplane without learning how to use the control panel that's in the cockpit. You know that when you enter a plane, like the top, no, not the top, the tip of the airplane, like the part at the front, that's a cockpit. Inside, you see like a huge control panel with a lot of like dials and buttons and switches. And saying that you want to learn, that you just want to be fluent without worrying about the sounds is like you want to fly the airplane without learning how to use the control panel, right? So I'm not saying that you have to start with the sounds of English first. That's what I would recommend. But pero si te urge, right? But if you're like really in like a desperate place and you really want to improve your fluency, okay, you can do both at the same time. We can work on your fluency, and at the same time, we can work on the sounds of English. But I think the airplane analogy, maybe it's not very, like, it may be a little bit more difficult to understand, but see it this way. When you go to the gym, you don't go to the gym and tell your coach, your trainer, you don't tell them, I want to have a nice body, like a very fit and healthy body for a competition in 3 months. I don't want to worry about how my muscles function, how my fingers, my toes, my calves. I don't want to think about that. I just want to, use the machines, right? So to me, it's basically the same thing. Like you're asking for the result but you're not really considering. And here, let me just be clear. Here, you're not only, like, if you want to be fluent, yes, you have to understand how to pronounce the sounds of English first, ideally first. But not only that, it's a long list of things. You need to know grammar, vocabulary, culture, because like in a conversation, you will be using a lot of not only phrasal verbs, I would say that's part of vocabulary, but also idioms, like phrases that we in Spanish use. An idiom is more or less like camarón que se duerme se lo lleva la corriente, but in English, right? I mean, there's no equivalent. Or there may be there is an equivalent. It's tell me, Rebecca, if you agree with this, but it's you snooze, you lose. Si te quedas dormido, pierdes, no? So that's basically the same idea as camarón que se duerme se lo lleva la corriente. So you need to learn all this information and the sounds, and then you can become fluent. Because otherwise, you will go through this frustration of saying that lo entiendo, pero no lo hablo. And not only that, it's that when you're in a conversation, you will have like the words in your brain, like in your mind, like there's a cloud of words that you can use, but you don't really know how to put them together. So that's the automatic part. And imagine, let's go back to the analogy of the airplane. The pilot is not, they touch these buttons and switches and dials. They do that automatically because they've been doing that for years. And so here's the first thing that I really want to make clear here. It takes years to become fluent. You cannot just go, you cannot expect to become fluent in 3 months if you at least haven't, like if you, okay, let's say that you want to be fluent in 3 months. Okay, if that's the case, then you have to, ideally, you would have to have a background of like maybe 5 years of learning English. Fluency is the top of the mountain. You cannot get to the top if you don't go through the whole road. I've been making YouTube shorts and I say, okay, so here's a little trick to improve your fluency. Here's another trick. One of those tricks was el truco del eco. Like if you don't really know what the other person said, you can say the last word. For example, I went to the park. So if you didn't hear the phrase, you can say park, right? And so the other person will say, yeah, I went to the park, right? But then one of you commented, yeah, but what if the other person only says yes, as in I went to the park. Park? Yes. I was like, well, yeah, in that case, there's no escape. Like you're doomed, you're screwed. In Spanish, we say ya te fregaste, no? You're screwed. And that's when, like, even if we want to use these tricks, we need to have all this context, all this background, all this structure, vocabulary, phrases. We need to have all that in like a very solid way to be able to use these tricks, right? So I'm basically saying that there's no, like, you have to go through the whole road before you can use the shortcuts, right? So now that's a problem, but I don't want to just like leave you with the problem, right? Comment in the chat if you agree with what I say. If you don't, well, you're free to contradict me. Come at me in the comments. But yeah, so I don't want to just like present the problem and not offer any solution, right? So what I was thinking is, and you know, every time I think about this, is like it makes more sense to me. What I'm saying is that like for the past, okay, so I started in 2012. I started taking private coaching with a pronunciation specialist since 2012 until 2024, which is when she got too busy. So now she can't really, I mean, we still work together, but not with as much frequency. But I also have been taking coaching, like private coaching with an accent coach. Besides my pronunciation coach, I also practice accent coaching with someone else. I see her once a week. And this is my point. Like, it's like, if you want to become fluent, becoming is probably not the best word, because becoming, to me, it gives the impression that you get there and you're done. You don't have to go back there again. Like, it's impossible. It's like going to the gym. You may get healthy and fit in, let's say, a year. After that year, it doesn't mean that you're done. You don't have to go back to the gym ever again in your life. That's not how it works, right? You have to continue going, right? You have to keep training. You learn even more. You find out that there's some muscles that you're exercising and that now you have to exercise. So there's always room for improvement. And it's the same with pronunciation and fluency. Like in my case, I still have these little conversations with my pronunciation coach, and I still have these structured sessions with my accent coach once, sometimes twice a week. The only, like, I don't want to just present an unrealistic solution. I cannot tell you, okay, so just, I mean, you can go to a language institute, and that's something that I really recommend doing, is go to, like, take classes, like traditional lessons at a language institute. If you don't have enough time to do that, okay, use an app. And here's the other thing. Just last night, someone commented in one of my shorts, because I mentioned in a short, if you don't have enough time because you work and you're busy, then at least use an app to practice. And I mentioned two. And someone in the comments put, yeah, but those apps are paid apps. They're not free apps, right? So number one, yes, they are free. They have a free option. But number two, and this is something that I mentioned in another short, this is like, you can never compare a free app, or at least the free version, to the paid version. Like, the paid version has basically no commercials and it has more features. And so if you only have, especially if you work, if you don't have enough time, are you going to spend that time that you're supposed to be studying, practicing? Are you going to spend that time using, like, watching commercials just for like a few minutes of practice? To me, I mean, I think it's the same with you. Like, we both agree that it doesn't make sense. It's like, it's a waste of time. What I can do to make this efficient for you is I can create a community where you can come. Mistakes are expected, because in education, we learn from mistakes. So I can create a community where you can come practice with me. We can, between sessions, we can keep practicing inside a private community. Right now, I have a public community, which is my Telegram group. I don't know if you're in the Telegram group, but if you're not, I can show you the link to it. Let me just Telegram. I'll put it in the chat. Oh, actually, no, because I don't have the chat on my computer. I can see it on my on my phone. But it's basically mejoratospeaking.com/Telegram. And then you can join my Telegram group. That's a public group. So what I was thinking is I can make a private community where we can like interact even more, and you can practice your fluency. Because yeah, that's another that's a way that you can practice, and it's a realistic way to practice. I can't tell you just go to school and that's going to be enough. It was not enough for me when I was going to school. When I was going to traditional classroom, those classes were very helpful, but they didn't really help me with my speaking. And now we have internet, we have digital systems. So I was thinking maybe we can do a community, right? Have you done the IELTS? Humberto David Chavarria. The IELTS. I have not. So actually, let me show you, because I have it it's on my website. So if you go to my main page, you see here, hola, soy Mark. And so you can see here all the exams that I've taken. The CAI, that was one. I passed it with grade A, and I did the TOEIC, 990 points. So like not even one mistake. And then the GC, and then the ELASH. So these are the exams that I've taken. And I also have the Licenciatura en Enseñanza de Inglés, a bachelor's in English teaching as a foreign language? Yeah, foreign language. EFL. So I have that. I did not take the IELTS. It was just not something that I never got interested in it. And actually, like, so here's the thing. When you take these certificate or exams, I did the first and then the CAI, and you probably know that there's another one called proficiency. I did not take that one for two reasons. Number one, I already have the level C2, the C2 level. When I did the CAI, I passed it with 200 points, so that means you have C2 level. But the other reason is I really want to focus on American English. And even though these exams are supposed to be international, like for an international audience, what I noticed, like when I was taking the practice tests and when I did the actual test, is that they tend to favor British English. And to me, that was a little bit frustrating. Like, why do I have to learn these phrases that I'm not even gonna use in a conversation? I'm just adding British English to my, I feel it's like contaminating my American English. If you're interested in like becoming part of this community where we can have sessions every Saturday, and in between sessions we can practice via text, video, and audio, then just go to my website and just put your name here and your email, and that's it. I will let you know as soon as possible. Let's see, Clay Gaming, can you tell me the best way to improve my vocabulary? Yeah, Duo Cards. Duo Cards is the app that I use. You can use the free version, Duo Cards. Oh, but I use the paid one, and it's not expensive. Everything is relative, right? But in my opinion, it's not. It's affordable. I think it's like $20 a year. A year, right? Actually, since you asked, send me an email to mark@mejorratospeaking.com, because I have the family plan, and I think I have like a few spaces available, so I can add your email. Just create your account with the free version, and I can add you to my family plan. También les recuerdo, los que no hayan tomado ningún entrenamiento de los sonidos del inglés, quiero que sepan que para hablar inglés se necesitan aprender los sonidos del inglés, y esto es algo que en las escuelas rara vez enseñan. Yo hice un curso de eso. Está aquí en mi sitio web, en mi curso de pronunciación. Y es de por vida, acceso de por vida, porque van a necesitarlo de por vida. Y siempre le estoy como agregando cosas. Aquí están los testimonios, lo que van a aprender, 3 módulos. Alright, so that's my little commercial. Este video está patrocinado por Habla Inglés con Naturalidad, right? Okay. No more questions, I think. Ya no veo más preguntas en el chat, así que Rebecca de Allo Anglo, thank you so much for coming to my live. María Isabel, si todavía sigues aquí, thank you so much. Sellerom Moreyes, tal vez lo pusiste al revés, ¿verdad? Thank you for joining. And I think Humberto David Chavarria Medi, also thank you for joining. Your question about the IELTS, I didn't think about asking you, like, are you planning to take that exam or what? And Clay Gaming, Jugando con Plastilina, hey, thank you for joining. Thank you very much for making time to coming to this session. I hope to see you in the Telegram group, and if not, put in your email in my website and I'll send you an email tomorrow. I think that's it. Thank you so much for joining, and we'll be meeting soon. Bye-bye. Take care. Bye-bye.